Colditz Castle, the prison built to hold the men. No other prison could Germany build a prison specifically for the prisoners who kept escaping from everywhere else. They picked a castle on a cliff surrounded by rivers, walls 30 feet thick, and filled it entirely with the most determined, resourceful escape artists the Allied forces had. It didn't matter. They still built a glider on the roof. Colditz Castle, a genuinely imposing medieval fortress perched on a rocky outcrop above the town of Colditz in Nazi Germany, was designated during the Second World War as a specialized prisoner of war facility specifically intended to hold Allied officers who had already demonstrated a documented history of escape attempts from other German POW camps. A genuinely unusual institutional concept, essentially concentrating the war's most persistent, resourceful escape artists into a single facility. German authorities believed represented the ultimate solution to their ongoing escape problem. The castle's specific physical characteristics made it, on paper, a genuinely formidable choice for this purpose. Situated atop a steep cliff with the surrounding town and countryside offering minimal natural cover for escaping prisoners, walls several feet thick throughout much of the structure, and a relatively small, easily monitored prisoner population compared to larger camps, conditions German administrators believed would make successful escape attempts considerably more difficult to execute than at more conventional larger POW facilities. What German planners hadn't adequately accounted for was the specific compounding effect of concentrating so many genuinely skilled, determined, and resourceful escape artists within a single facility, since prisoners at Colditz, rather than being deterred by the castle's imposing defenses, instead treated the facility's specific security challenges as a genuinely stimulating collective engineering and planning problem, pooling their diverse skills, backgrounds, and previous escape experience to develop an extraordinary range of increasingly sophisticated escape attempts throughout the war. Prisoners at Colditz, drawn from British, French, Polish, Dutch, and other Allied nationalities, developed a genuinely remarkable culture of organized, collaborative escape planning, including formal internal committees specifically dedicated to reviewing, approving, and coordinating resources for individual escape proposals, ensuring limited shared resources, including scavenged tools, forged documents, and civilian clothing painstakingly assembled or altered from military uniforms, were allocated toward whichever specific escape plans the prisoner population's own internal review process judged to have the strongest realistic chance of success. The specific range of escape methods attempted at Colditz over the course of the war genuinely reflected the remarkable ingenuity this concentration of skilled, motivated prisoners was able to collectively produce. Prisoners constructed elaborate tunnel systems, dug using improvised tools, and disposed of using methods specifically adapted to the castle's unique stone architecture, attempted disguises ranging from German guard uniforms to civilian clothing convincing enough to pass casual inspection, and developed forged identity documents sophisticated enough to withstand scrutiny during actual attempted border crossings following successful escapes from the castle itself. Perhaps the single most famous and genuinely remarkable escape project developed at Colditz never actually needed to be used before the war's conclusion rendered it unnecessary. A two-man glider constructed secretly over an extended period within a concealed workshop built inside the castle's attic space, using materials scavenged from the prisoners' own bed frames, floorboards, and any other available materials that could be repurposed for aircraft construction. Designed specifically to be launched from the castle's roof using an improvised counterweight system intended to provide sufficient initial acceleration for the glider to achieve flight and clear the castle's surrounding terrain. An escape plan so genuinely audacious that it has since become one of the most celebrated individual stories associated with the entire Colditz prisoner experience, even though the war ended before prisoners ever needed to actually attempt using it. Despite the castle's imposing security measures and its specific designation as a facility for previously unsuccessful or persistent escape attempts, Colditz recorded a remarkable number of successful, home-run escapes throughout the war, meaning prisoners who successfully escaped the castle itself and subsequently made it entirely out of German-controlled territory to genuine safety, with historical accounts crediting at least 30 separate successful home-run escapes across the war's duration. A genuinely striking success rate given the facility's specific institutional purpose and formidable physical security measures. What made Colditz's specific escape culture genuinely distinct from other wartime POW escape efforts wasn't simply the individual ingenuity of any particular escape attempt. Remarkable as many of the castle's specific escape methods genuinely proved, but the systematic, collaborative, almost institutionalized approach prisoners developed to escape planning itself, treating the facility's imposing security specifically designed to prevent exactly this kind of coordinated effort as a genuine, ongoing collective challenge the prisoner population approached with sustained organizational discipline rather than isolated individual desperation. Colditz was eventually liberated by advancing American forces in April of 1945, and the castle's remarkable wartime history, extensively documented afterward through prisoner memoirs, official military records, and later popular books and television adaptations, transformed what German authorities had specifically designed as their most secure possible prisoner facility into one of history's most celebrated symbols of sustained, collaborative human ingenuity operating under genuinely extreme institutional constraint. If stories like this, where concentrating history's most determined problem solvers in one place produced exactly the opposite of what anyone intended, are exactly what you come here for, subscribe to The Grave Details, because history holds more stories like this than most people will ever know.